Hi everyone, very good morning. Just let me know, am I audible and visible to you guys? Good morning everyone. If I am completely audible to you and I am visible, clearly visible, just let me know. We are live now. Good morning. चलिए. All right, perfect. So voice clear है, सब कुछ okay है. Should we go ahead? चलो, बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है. So let's start with without wasting the time. We are just going with the very first question which we have to go ahead with is from logical reasoning. So currently we are just going with this particular portion. Good morning beta. I hope the preparation is going well, and today we are just going with few of the important questions. So let's talk about this particular passage without wasting the time. Chalo. Good morning everyone. Chalo. So at a multi-day gaming festival, 7 participants P, Q, R, S, T, U and V registered for a special challenge. Each participant attended the challenge exactly once and no 2 participants attended on the same day. The order in which they attended was not necessarily fixed. The table below contains partial information regarding the number of days, separating the attendance days of different pairs of participants. While calculating this gap, the days on which the 2 respective participants attended are not included. So yes, definitely we will talk about about tips and tricks, but I think that first we should go ahead with the passage and let's practice the questions. Definitely we'll just discuss about the strategy as well in the last at the last of the marathon, right? Let's talk about this particular portion. So here we are just going with this portion. See how it works. The statement says here is that there is a gaming competition, gaming festival currently is going on, and there are 7 participants, and these 7 participants are participating on the gap of this much day. Like suppose P is P in between P and Q, the day between P and Q, there will be a gap of 18 days. So when P goes and Q goes, definitely there will be a gap of 18 days in between them, excluding the days of P and Q, right? So the statement here says that the table below contains partial information regarding the number of days, separating the attendance days of different pairs of participants. While calculating, this statement is very important, while calculating this gap, the days on which the 2 respective participants attended are not included. Let's say I am talking about P and Q first, just to explain the concept that how it will work out. Right, so let's say P is going on the first day. This is assumption that P is just going on the first day and there will be a gap of 18 days. It means first day and 18 more days, 19 days, and on 20th day Q will go. So it means that when P and Q are going to attain the gaming festival, in between those 2 days there will be a gap of 18 days. So we can say that either P will go first or Q will go first. So there will be a possibility that P or Q, any of them will go first. Now let's talk about how it will work out beta. I'm just going with a timeline. This is 2 different timelines which are through which we are going ahead, right? So there are 2 timelines. We can say either P will go first or we can say Q will go first, right? Similarly, we can say either Q will go first or P will go first. So we are starting from here. I hope that this point is clear to you guys, but if the concept is clear, then all of you are able to answer this question, because this question is I think something from moderate level. So let's focus here that what I am going to tell you is just remember that suppose P is going on first day and Q is going on first day. The very important thing which I am going to tell you is what, when you are talking about 18 days, there will be a gap of 18 days in between P and Q. What does it means? It means that we are just going to add 19 this time. We are just going to add 19 this time. So 1 plus 19 will be equals to what? 20, and 1 plus 19 will be equals to what? 20. Why? Because you just have to exclude the day 1 and day 20. In between day 1 and day 20, there will be 18 days. There will be a gap of 18 days, what the table shows here. So the gap in between P and Q, the attendance, the days, number of days between P and Q, the day at which P and Q reports, there will be a gap of 18 days in between them. them. And the statement further here says that while calculating this gap, the days on which the two respective participants attended are not included. I hope that this point is clear to you guys. Now let's have a look on this portion. I'm just going with currently P and S. So if either we can go with P and S or we can go with Q and S. So let's talk about P and S first. If I'm going with P and S or QS, yes, we can go. We can say that done with this 18. Now let's say we are going with 26. So if we are going with 26, what happens here is, let's say if I'm going with 26, there is a difference of 26 days in between Q and S. Beta, remember first, either S will come up on this side or definitely S will come up on this side. We can also say either S will come up on this side or S will come up on this side. There are two possibilities because we are just now we are just taking Q and S, right? We are going with Q and S. So the difference, the gap in between Q and S is of 26. So Q is already fixed. S will be either on the right hand side or on the left hand side. Similarly, for this, Q is either on the right hand side or on the left hand side. We have two possibilities, but remember one thing, if we go 26 days just right after this, right after Q, if talking about this portion, we are just going 26 days, it means we have to add 27. So it means that this is 47, and if we subtract 27, so 20 minus 27 will give you minus 7. So if talking about this particular portion, here we know that entirely, if talking about this portion, we know that I think that everyone is, acha, guys, just let me know, is this clear to you? Till here, what we discuss is clear to everyone? Yes or no? Just write in the chat box. If it is clear, write Y in the chat box so that we can go ahead. I hope that it is clear. This is clear to you guys. Chalo. So I am going with the next part. Hai na? If talking about the entire portion, just done with this. And again, if talking about here, Q and S, again Q and S 26 days, so we have to add 27. 1 plus 27 will give you 28, and 1 minus 27 will give you minus 26. I hope that this point is clear. Okay, chalo. So if talking about the portion, we have done with this 26 as well. Now compare P and S. There will be a gap of 7 days in between P and S. Beta, there will be a gap of how much days? 7 days. Similarly, if talking about this portion, here we have, yes, here's the gap of, here is the gap of 7 days. Here is a gap of 7 days. Talking about P and S, there will be, if talking about this P and S, this will not match. So definitely it means that we just have to eliminate this position. We just have to eliminate this position S. We just have to eliminate this. Why? Because the gap of 7 days in between P and S, yes, the gap of 7 days between P and S is here, right? Similarly, if talking about the gap of 7 days, yes, here will be the gap of 7 days between P and S. So definitely this position is incorrect. We just have to eliminate this position. Now see, how this value can be positive? What will be the minimum integer that we should add in all this so that this value becomes plus 1? If we add 8 over here, on adding 8 over here, we know that this will become the first day, right? So let's add 8 here. If we add 8, the value will be equals to what, beta? This value will be equals to 8 minus 7 will give you what? 8 minus 7 will give you 1. So here we are writing, we are adding 8 everywhere. That will be 1, 9, and 28. This is the new value for this particular part. Now when doing so, let's talk about beta another statement. I think that this point is clear to you guys, that we have we done with all the three values, done with this value, done with this value. I think that this is clear. And now here, if we are just going, we see that either SPQ will be the pattern or QPS will be the pattern. It means order can be reversed. Either S will come up on the first day or Q will come up on the first day. So this is how it will work out. Now done with P and done with S and done with Q. So currently we have done with this particular portion. I think it's completely true, beta. Hello, chalo. Let's go ahead and move out with the next part. Here we have, let's say I'm just going with T, P and T. we can go with P and T. So P and T 8, it means we just have to add 9. P and T 8, it means we just have to add 9. So if we add 9, the value will be equals to here, 9 plus 9 will be equals to either 18, and 9 minus 9 will be equals to 0. So this is the possibility of T. So either T will come up over here or T will come up over here. Similarly, if talking about P, again we just have to add 9. So P plus 9, 29, here will be T, or 20 minus 9 will give you 11, either T will be here. But which position is correct? Let's go with talking about this portion, S and T. There must be a gap of 16 days in between S and T. So if talking about S, the statement says the gap of 16 days in between S and T. So S and T, yes, a gap of 16 days in between them. It means the position of this T is correct and the position of this T is wrong. So we just have to eliminate this. We are just going to eliminating this T. T is already here. And similarly, if talking about this portion, we know that SPTQ is the correct one. So QTPS, it means that this T will also get cancelled out, right? So here we have the 4 positions. And now we have already completed this 8 as well, and we have already completed this 16 as well. So out of 7 people, out of 7 participants, we have done these 4 positions, done with these 4 positions. Now what's the next portion? If talking about the next portion, here let's say we are just going with U, because we have 2 different values for U. So Q and U, there will be a gap of 6 days. It means Q and U will be a gap of 6 days. We should add 7 or subtract 7. So Q7 means either this side or this side. So if we subtract 7, this value will be equals to 21. And if we add 7, this value will be equals to 35. So we are talking about U. So either U will come up over here or U will come up over here. Similarly, talking about 7, we are just adding 7 from Q. So 1 minus 7 will give you minus 6, and 1 plus 7, that will give you 8. So this will be for U. This will be for U, these 2 places. But which value is correct for U? Let's go with T. T and U 16. T and U 16. So if talking about T and U, yes, there will be a difference of 16 here, T and U, right? So this value is incorrect, means 21 and U is incorrect. We should eliminate U, and this, now the difference between T and U is just of 16 days. From here in between we have 16 days of gap. So now SPTQU, SPTQU. So this U is incorrect. We should eliminate this 8 as well. Now here is the difference. Again, this value is negative. How can we make this value positive? By adding minimum value, which is 7. If we add 7 in the entire part, what happens here is 7 minus 6 is 1. 1 plus 7, 8. 11 plus 7, 18. 20 plus 7, 27. Again adding 7, that value will be equals to 35. So this is the actual data. This is the days which we already done with this portion. Now by doing so, let's talk about, I think this is clear to everyone, right? Now let's have a look on this part. Completed with 6, completed with 16. Now I am going with rest of the values. Rest of the values means, let's say we are just going with P and R. That P and R says we have total 16 gap. So we should add 17. P and R 17. So here we have P. If we add 17, 17 plus 9. If talking about the entire statement, here we have 16 part P and R. So we should add 17. So from P, if we add 17, 26. 26 means either here the value will come up, R will come up, or if talking about this portion, minus 17. So minus 17 means what? Minus 17, and it means that plus 9. So that value is 9, and minus 17, the value is, I guess this is 8, right? So the value will be equals to what? Minus 8. This value is minus 8. So if talking about the entire portion, the value will be equals to R over here. So we have 2 possibilities, right? Let's say if talking about the entire portion, here we have further, if talking about P and R, here is P as well, and let's say R. So if 17, P plus 17, that will be equals to 44. So this value will be equals to 44, right? And here R, there is a possibility of R. And if we go just beyond minus 17 means 10. 10 means either R will come up over here, that will be equals to 10. So let's say if it is 16 R and P, here is again there is one value which is for, yes, we don't have any such value for R. Now see, if I am going with the, yes, we have R and V. If talking about R and V, there is a gap of 5, right? 6, we just have to add 6. So if we go like this, here 10 plus 6, 16. So at 16 there will be R, that there will be, if talking about, there will be V, right? There will be V. This is just a possibility. Either we will just go this side. So here 10 plus 6, that will be RV, and further if we go 10 minus 6, that is 4. So either V will be here. 10 minus 6 is what? 10 minus 6 is 4, right? So either this is the possibility, or if we go ahead, 44 plus 6, that will be equals to 50. Either V will be here, or 44 minus 6, that will be equals to 38. 38, either the value will be V over here. So let's talk about, if talking about this portion, S and V14, S and V14. So if talking about the entire statement, S is here 35, and if 14 means if we add 50, yes, this is the correct value. Here we have 35 and 15, 50, there will be a gap of 14 days, right? So we can say that 35 and 50, there will be a gap of 14 days. So this statement is correct, and rest of the values are incorrect. It means that we should eliminate first V from here, and R from here, V from here, R from here, V from here. These values are incorrect. We should eliminate all these things. So this is the possibility here we have. So now we can say that VRSP, VR, which we should go like this, VRSP, right? So if talking about here, the value will be equals to like this. Sorry, the value will be like this. है ना? VRSPTQU, VRSPTQU. So this is minus 8 if talking about the entire portion. Further minus 8, and this value will be equals to what if we go like this? So minus, further we will go for minus if talking about V and R. So here is V and we have R. Okay, so V and R, 5 days means minus 6. 8 minus 6 minus 14. So we can say that here we just have to minus 14. Now we have to add 15 in overall value. If we add 15 in overall value, what happens here is this becomes 15, right? 15 minus 14 will be equals to what? That will be equals to 1. So 15 minus 14, 1, 15 minus 8, 7, 15 plus 1, 16, 15 and 9, 24, right? And if talking about this portion, 15 and 18, 33, this value will be equals to 33. This is 33. And next value is if we add here, the value will be equals to 15. 15 plus 16, 40. This value will go on. We are just adding 15. So on adding 15, this value will be equals to 41, right? So this value is 41, and this value is 43, and this value is 50. So this is how it will work out, correct? This is the particular portion. So we can say that if talking about two possibilities, we can go with this possibility as well, and we can go with this possibility as well. Both the possibilities are true, right? Let's say if talking about the entire portion, here is the value. The question says that what is the minimum number of days for which the exhibition was held. Okay, so just let me know the minimum number of days for which the exhibition is held. The minimum number, can anybody tell me in the chat box? Chalo, hai na, done. So the correct value is, beta, let me know what will be the correct value. That is 50 days, right? So we are just going with the value. Here the value will be equals to 50 days. Hai na? Let's talk about next part. Yes, it says that what is the number of days between the day on which R went to the exhibition and the day on which S went to the exhibition. Number of days between the day on which R went to the exhibition and the day on which S went to the exhibition. So if talking about R and S, here we have R, here we have S. There will be a gap of 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 5 days, and then 3 more days. It means 8 days. So if talking about this portion, here we have 8 days. Again from here we have 8 days of gap. Again here we have 8 days of gap, right? So there is a gap of 8 days. So right answer for this question is 8 days is the right answer. ठीक है, करेक्ट. आई होप दैट इट इज क्लियर. चलो, done with this. Next आते हैं. What is the maximum number of people who would have gone to the exhibition on the same day of the week? So same day of the week, as I told you about calendars, if talking about the entire portion, the calendar says that if you go with this portion here, see, if talking about you, this is the first day, right? If we divide it by 7, why we are dividing it by 7? Because we know that a week contains 7 days. That's why we are just going to divide it by 7. So here the remainder will be 1. Again here the remainder will also 1. So if this is Saturday, this is definitely also Saturday. So remainder 1, remainder 1. No, this is not, this number will not give you remainder 1. This number will also not give you remainder 1. Remainder 0, remainder 2, and again remainder 1. It means that U, Q and V, these people are going on the same day of the week, right? So if talking about the entire portion, here is the value about U, Q and V. So this is how it will work out. Yes, you can go with this 50. 7 sevens are 49, remainder 1, right? And talking about Q, 43. 7 6 are 42, 42 plus 1 is 43. And then here is again remainder 1. So U, Q and V are 3 people who are going on the same day of the week. What is the maximum number of people who would have gone to the exhibition on the same day of the week? So result is 3 people are going maximum on the same day of the week. है ना? Perfect. चलो, let's talk about if not more than 2 persons went to the exhibition after, who was the first person to go to the exhibition? So basically talking about who was the first person to go to the exhibition. So if entirely talking about this portion, here we know that either who is going to the first, either we will or you will go to the first. So either you or we are the person who go first in the exhibition. So the answer for this question is either you or we is the right answer. So this is how it will work out. So this set was from the moderate level, right? This set is from the moderate level. Let's say if talking about the entire portion, what it says, I'm just going with the next part here. Direction for questions. Go through the data set given below and solve the questions based on it. Yes, so here we have a passage. Here we have our data interpretation part. If talking about the data interpretation part, shows that below given pie charts show the percentage population of wild animals and the percentage of land used under forest cover in different regions of the world in the year 2007. So entirely we have 2 different pie charts. First pie chart says that percentage wise distribution of population of wild animals and percentage wise distribution of land under forest cover. So here we have 2 different pie charts, right? Let's take a look on next portion. Here we have following are the geographical regions. Which geographical region we are talking about? A1 is Asia, China and India. So technically A1 is these 3 parts, and then A2 is Australia, A3 is Africa, A4 is Europe, and A5 is Russia, A6 is North and South America, A7 is Antarctica. Population density is obtained by dividing the population by land. So the formula for finding the population density is percentage number of animals and then percentage land area under forest cover. This is known as population density. So I think this term is will be used frequently for questions. If talking about the entire part, let's say I am going with the first question. What it says, if the population density of wild animals in Russia is 1, all right, then what is the combined population density of Africa, North America and South America? So let's talk about Africa, North America and South America. So Africa is here A3, right? And then talking about North America and South America, it means that A3 and A6. We should have take A3 and A6. Let's talk about A3 and A6. If talking about A3 is what? 20 and A6 is what? 15. So we can say 20 plus 15. This is the total value. Total value of what? Total value of population of wild animals, because the formula says percentage number of animals and percentage land area under forest cover. So if we are going with the first pie chart, the point is 20 and 15. Then talking about A3 and A6 is what? 22 and 18. So we will put 22 and 18. This will be the value. After finding this, we know that total value will be equals to 35 divided by total value will be equals to 40. 5 sevens are and 5 eights are. So it means that 0, 70, 8 eights are 64, 60 remains. It means that 8 sevens are 56 and 4 40, 8 fives are 40, 0.875. So 0.875, see 0.875, that is 0.88 is the rounded off value. So this is the right answer. Okay, I think that this is clear to you guys. Kavya, actually the question was asking about the minimum number of days through which the exhibition was held. It means that every participant is participating, right? So if every participant is participating, definitely the exhibition is going to held for 50 days because we just have to cater all the 7 participants. That's why we have to count the first day for the first participant, that is either you or we, and definitely if you will be the first participant, we will be the last participant. If we will be the first participant, you will be the last participant, right? So this is how we just have to go from either you to we or we have to go from we to you. So all the participants are attending it and till 50 days it is going on, right? Now let's talk about this portion. Yes, 0.88 is the right answer. Now we are just going with another part. Which among the following has the 4th highest population? It means that if talking about 4th highest population density of wild animals, so if we have to consider the 4th highest population density of wild animals, let's talk about it, that how it will work out. So I am just going with the part. If I'm talking about these values, let's say we are just going with this portion. Yes, so here we have here the value will be equals to what? The value will be equals to A1. Let's say total we have how many parts? A7. So we can write A1, we can write A2, we can write A3 here, we can write A4 here. So let's talk about A1 first. If talking about A1, the value of A1 is 19 divided by 15. 19 divided by 15 beta. Uske baad let's say A2. If talking about A2, here the value is 13, the value is 14. So the value will be equals to 13 divided by 14. If talking about A3, A3 is what? 20 divided by 22. So 20 divided by 22. Similarly, if talking about A4, A4 value is what? 11 divided by 11 divided by 8. So the value is 11 divided by 8. Similarly, if talking about beta A5, A5, the value will be equals to here, A5 is 14 and A5 is 11. So the value is 14 divided by 11. If talking about A6, the value is 15 and the value is 18. 15 divided by 18. Let's say we are just going with A7. So the value of A7 is 8 and here we have 9. I hope that all the values are clear. So 19, 13, 20, 11, 19, 13, 20, 11, and then we have taken 14, 15, 8. 14, 15 and 8. Yes. And if talking about denominators, 15, 14, 22, 15, 14, 22, 8, 11, 18, 9. 8, 11, 18, 9. Yes, it is true. Now see, if talking about this value is greater than 1. Yes, because numerator is greater than denominator, right? So talking about दिव्यांशु अभी इस टाइप के ऐसे कुछ स्टेटमेंट नहीं लिखने बेटा, कंडक्टेड बाय एनटीए. चलो एनटीए वैसे भी बहुत ज़्यादा अभी सुर्खियों में है. इफ टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पोर्शन दिस वैल्यू इज ऑल्सो ग्रेटर देन 1, राइट? इफ टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पोर्शन दिस वैल्यू इज ऑल्सो ग्रेटर देन 1. इफ टॉकिंग अबाउट एनी पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू, नो वी डोंट हैव एनी सच वैल्यू. नाउ टेल मी वन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. इफ वी हैव A1 greater than 1, if we have A4 greater than 1, if we have A5 greater than 1, it means that these 3 values are the top 3 values, right? And the question was asking about, question is asking about what? Question is asking about which among the following has the 4th highest population. Definitely these are the top 3 highest values, because this value is greater than 1, this value is greater than 1, this value is greater than 1. So we already eliminated A1, A4 and A5. A1, A4 and A5 eliminated. A1, A4, A5 eliminated. So A1, A4, A5 eliminated. Now we just have to check for these values 2, 3 and 7. So if talking about 2, 3 and 7, so 2 and then 3 and then we just have to go for 7. So let's say if talking about A2, we know that 13, and if we divide 14, the value will be decimal and this value will be 0. 9, 4s are 36, 3, 9 ones are 9 and 3 12, 126, left with what? 4, and this becomes 40. So 14 twos are, this value becomes 28, right, and this value becomes 12 and 120. Again, I think 8 times, 0.928. So this value is 0.928, right? If talking about next part, A3, this is 10 and this is 11. So if we go for 10 divided by 11, what happens? See, 0, this will be 11 nines are 99 and 1 remains, then 0 and 0.909. So this value is what? 0.909. If talking about the last part, here the value will be equals to what? This value will be equals to 9 8 is a 72. So we cannot take this value. So if talking about these two values, 9 to 8 is the A2 is the what? A2 is the fourth largest. So the entire statement here will be equals to what? A2. A2 means option number D is the correct one. Perfect, Shivangi. The correct answer is A2 beta. Hai, chalo. So I think that these points are clear to you guys. Now I am going with the next portion. So done with all the things and eliminating this all part. Let's say we are just going to the next question beta. Population density of wild animals in Europe is how many times that of the population density of wild animals in Russia? So basically we just have to find Europe divided by Russia. We just have to go for this part. Why? Because we know that maybe it will be a k times. So the statement says population density of wild animals in Europe. In Europe is equals to how many times? Let's say k times of what? That population density of wild animals in Russia. So Russia. So if we transfer this Russia to left hand side, this becomes Europe upon Russia. So we just have to find the value of k. So Europe upon Russia. Let's talk about Europe upon Russia. So where is Europe? If talking about Europe, Europe is A4, right? A4, and Russia is A5. So A4 upon A5. A4 upon A5. A4 upon A5 means this is A4 11 and A4 8 divided by A5. If talking about A5, the value of A5 is 14 and here the value of A5 is 11. So if we solve this, we know that 11 square becomes 121 and this will be 8 into 14, 8 4s are 32, 3 remains, 8 1s are 8 and 3 11. So this will be 112. So 121 upon 112. 121 upon 112. Here the value is 112 and 9 remains, decimal 0 0 times 0. Now we can go with the 8 times, so 1.08 something. So if talking about the part, here we have the value, we don't have any particular value. So let's check out for the entire statement further. The statement says here is population density of wild animals in Europe is how many times alright, that of the population density of wild animals in Russia. Okay, so I think the point is very clear. Europe divided by Russia. Let's talk about the value. Europe and Russia. Yes, we have Europe upon Russia. Correct. So A4 divided by A5. Yes, A4 divided by A5. So A4 is what? 11. And 11 divided by 8, yes, it is okay. And then A5, talking about this 14 divided by 11, yes, it is also correct. So 11 square becomes 121, 8 4s are 32, 8 1s are 8 and 3 11, right? So 112. I guess the point is clear. Correct. Huh? So this value is 1.08 something. I think the options are not correct. So 1.08 is the correct value. 1.8 is the correct value. The value is, I think something is missing out. So 1.08 is the right value. So factor is 1.08. Now let's talk about yes, Shivangi, it is correct. So I think this is the appropriate answer for that, right? Now let's talk about this particular portion. If in the next 10 years, the population of wild animals in Antarctica will the population of wild animals in Antarctica will increase by 2.5% more than that in the rest of the world. What will be the percentage population of wild animals in Antarctica after 10 years? Alright. So if talking about the entire statement, see, if I am just going with this particular portion, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7. Already we have 7 portions currently. So if talking about the entire 7 portions, it is not said anywhere that this A1 to A7 is forming the word. It means definitely there will be certain portions which are left out, which are not considered in this particular question, right? So we cannot take the whole entire word from A1 to A7. There will be much more regions which can be left out right after A7, which are not included. So if talking about the entire part, the question says is, if in the next 10 years the population of wild animals in Antarctica will increase by 2.5%, more than that in the rest of the world. Do we have a data of the rest of the world? No, we don't have the data of the rest of the world. So what will be the correct answer for this question? That is D. Cannot be determined is the right answer, right? Chalo. So this was the part. Here we have C, B, D is the right answer. Now we are going with one of the important questions based on logical reasoning. Can you guys, would you guys love to attempt this question, or should we go ahead? Would you guys want to attempt it, or we should go ahead with this particular passage? Just let me know in the chat box. The difficulty level is again moderate, so I am expecting that you guys can, I think you guys should attempt it. Chalo, theek hai. Take a time, take 4 to 5 minutes, and then we are just going to discuss about this passage. Alright, just take 4 to 5 minutes and go for it. This is, the difficulty level is good, so moderate level question. Just try and figure it out, what will be the given part. Guys, once done, just drop me D for done in the chat box so that we can go ahead. I'm waiting for the response. If it is done by you guys, just drop D in the chat box so that we can go for the discussion. All right, so we are just going with the discussion. Let's talk about this particular passage. As the statement, the question is, the passage is very good. So let's discuss about Farhan, Gauri, Harish and Isha are four such scholars. Each of them completed their research tenures at each of three universities: University of Nagpur, which is UN, University of Ooty, which is UO, and University of Patna, which is UP, between 2012 and 2023. So guys, we just can write like this, that we have to start from 2012 and we just have to go for 2013, and then we just have to go for 2014, 2015, 2016 and 2017. Further, after 2017 is 2018, and then here we have 2019, 2020 and 2021. Further, talking about 2022, and finally we have 2023. So these are the years through which the academic years which the question is talking about, and we have three universities: UN, UO and UP. So here we have UN, and here we have UO, and here we have UP. Right? So University of Nagpur, University of Ooty and University of Patna. Further, the statement says each university mentors any scholar for consecutive years only for a tenure of 2, 3 or 4 years, with each university having a different tenure length. So maybe tenure length is of 2 years, 3 years or 4 years for different universities. Suppose let's say UN is just giving 2 years of tenures and UO is giving 4 years of tenures, and 3 years UP is giving 3 years of tenure, right? Further, so this is the first task which we have to decode, that the tenure length of each university is what, whether it is 2, 3 or 4 is for which university. Further, if talking about this, during some years a scholar may not be at any of these universities, maybe that will be known as gap year, right? So the statement says during some years a scholar may not be at any of these universities. So it means that will be a gap year for that particular scholar if in particular year he or she is not going to attend any university, right? Further, the statement says that, if talking about the entire statement, the statement says that in none of these years did any university host more than 2 of these scholars simultaneously. What does it means? It means that in none of the years did any university host more than 2 of these scholars simultaneously. 2 scholars attending the same university in the same year are called cohorts. So cohorts means 2 scholars who are attending the same university in the same year, right? Here are the additional facts through which we can decode what is the possibility. So now we are going to start the passage, and listen carefully how we will decode all the things. The first statement says that University Ooty UO never hosted more than 1 scholar in the same year. It means in 1 year UO is hosting or catering only 1 scholar, not more than 1 scholar. UP did not host any of these scholars during 2014 to 17 as well as during 20 to 23. So let's talk about this 2014. So if I'm just going with this part now, if I'm going with this part, here we have 2014 and till 2017, right? Similarly, talking about 2020 and 2023, 20 to 23. So University of Patna is not catering students, right? So we can mark cross over here that University of Patna is not catering student for these 4 years and for these 4 years as well. So this is how we can mark cross to these 4 years. So University of Patna is not catering students to these 4 years. Now tell me one thing, if so sorry yaar. Just give me a moment. Undo option is not there. चलो let's do one more time. I'm so sorry, it's my mistake. चलो so 2000, talking about 2012, right? 2012 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 and 21 and 22 and 23. Right, here we have university UN, and here we have UO, and here we have UP. So if talking about the portion 14 to, the statement says 14 to 17. So for 14 to 17 we just mark cross over here these 4 years, right? 14 to 17 there will be no catering for UP. Similarly, talking about this 20 and 23, 20 and 23 means what? Here we have 20, 21, 22 and 23. Now tell me one important part, that University of Patna is catering for either these 2 years or for these 2 years. It means that this is completely true, that the tenure length of University of Patna is what? For 2 years. So this is clear that if talking about the tenure of 2, 3 or 4 years, from this clue we can just decode this, that the University of Patna is just giving the tenure of 2 years of length. So here the tenure length will be of 2 years. We are writing 2 years of tenure. I guess that this point is clear to you guys. Just let me know, is this clear to everyone? Perfect, है ना? So it will be tenure length of 2 years. Now left, this is the statement which we already used. Yes, sorry, not this one, not this one. The point is here, University of Patna did not host any of these scholars. We have done with this part. F and I were never cohorts, alright, neither were G and H. All other pairs of scholars were cohorts for exactly 2 years. ठीक है, we will use this statement later, right? In 2012, F and G started their tenures at University Nagpur and University Ooty. So F started from where? UN. F started from where? UN, right? If talking about the statement, further the statement says G started from UO. G started from UO. Now the next point is we just have to find the tenure length of UN and UO. Now tell me one important part, done with this part as well, है ना? Here is the statement which is very important. UO never hosted more than one scholar in the same year. If UO is not catering more than one scholar and all have to cover, if all the students have to go, total we have 4 students. So if there is a tenure length of 4 years, suppose there is a tenure length of 4 years. So 4 scholars for 4 years means total 16 years. Do we have total 16 years? No. We have 12 years right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So it means that if we have 4 scholars and for 4 scholars there will be total 12 years. So 4 3s are 12. It means that the tenure is of 3 years. So tenure length for UO will be 3 years. I hope that this is clear, right? So this is how it will work out, that the tenure length of UO will be equals to 3 and the tenure length of UN will be 4. If it is clear to you guys, just let me know that it is clear to everyone. Guys, just let me know it is clear to everyone. If it is clear, just write Y in the chat box so that we can move ahead. Done with this particular portion, and now moving ahead. Now, chalo. So by doing we are just moving. If the tenure length of UN is 4 years, it means F is consecutively for 4 years. F is consecutively for 4 years, right? Let's talk about next part. If talking about beta G, this university is offering tenure length of 3 years, sorry. So this will be G and G. So 3 years G will be here. And now see, if talking about this portion, we are sure about the 2 cohorts that the statement says that now left with whom? F and G done, H and I is left. So definitely H and I will attain. H and I will attain here. H and I will attain here. So this is the statement H and I, right? So Harish and Isha are going to UP, and the statement says that what? We already just skipped this one. The statement says F and I were never cohorts, neither were G and H. All other pairs of scholars were cohorts for exactly 2 years. So these pair are the cohorts for exactly 2 years. H and I are the pair who is just cohorts for 2 years. Acha, one more thing. We can say that if F and I were never cohorts, neither were G and H. So it means that we can say either yes, F and H. F and H can be the cohorts, right? If F and H can be the cohorts, we can also say I and G can be the cohorts. I and G can be the cohorts. We can also say that F and G can be the cohorts. F and G can be the cohorts, and I and H can be the cohorts. So these are the possibilities of cohorts. Yes, H and I are exactly cohorts for 2 years. So we done with this I and H. So these two people are the cohorts for 2 years, exactly for 2 years. Now let's talk about this particular portion. If I am going with the part C, if I am going with next portion, how it will work out? Beta, here if talking about this statement, done with this part now see, entirely if talking about this portion, we have done with this part as well, right? Now UO never hosted more than one scholar in the same year, so done with this as well. Now see, if going with this part here is the possibility of which part? If I am just talking about this portion, H and I, because at this place, let's talk about this place. At this place, G will never come with F because G is currently here in UO. So now H and I are free, but there is a possibility of FH. FH means F and H and F and H for 2 years. H is free now and H will be here. So this is the possibility of the portion here we have H, right? By doing so, let's talk about again next part, H, and then H will be here and H will be here because the tenure length is of 4 years. That's why H will be here, correct? Now see, if talking about the entire portion, how it will work out. By doing so, can F will come over here? No, F cannot come over here because F is currently here and H is also currently here. So I will come over here. I is coming over here for 3 part, right? For 3 years. So by doing this, we can say that G and then I. Let's talk about this portion. Here we have 2 years, tenures of 2 years. H and I attended this, so left with F plus G. And here we have F plus G, so done with FG as well, right? And done with FH as well. So cohorts for 2 consecutive years, cohorts for 2 consecutive years, cohorts for 2 consecutive years. Now left with I and G. Beta, just remember, if G is here, I is here, left with F and H. So F is here, so H will continue for 3 years. H will continue for 3 years. And now left with F, so F will be here, F will be here, right? So filled all the values of UO and filled all the values of UP. Now left with UN. Just remember, if I am talking about here F and H already been done, now left with whom? G and I. So if talking about whether G can come over here, no, G cannot come over here. Yes, after completion of this G can come over here, G and G, because G is here, correct? And now left with I. So I and G is left, right? G is here, so definitely I and then I and then I. So I, the 4 consecutive years for I, because the statement says that further say all other pairs of scholars were cohorts for exactly 2 years. For exactly 2 years means I and this will be I. So this is how it will work out, right? So correct. Done with this portion. Now let's talk about the question beta, how it will work out. This is the next part here. The question says that in which of the following years were Farhan and Gauri cohorts, F and G cohorts. So if talking about F and G, beta, F and G is here, which is 2018 and 2019. Either 18 or 19 will be the correct answer. 18 or 19. So here we have 2019 is the right value. So 2019 will be the correct value, right? This is how it will work out. Now just going with next portion. Talking about the entire beta, sometimes it happens ki yes, such type of questions can be asked, matlab this is just a possibility. So that's why we are just taking into consideration that sometimes the difficulty level is like this, because we are very uncertain about the parts. Sometimes they are just going for difficult level of logical reasoning sets as well, just like we have seen in IPMAT Indore that Quants was so easy. So sometimes it also happens that pattern suddenly changes, like LR becomes difficult because everyone talks about that LR comes easy, the difficulty level is so much easy in JIPMAT if talking about LR, but sometimes it also happens that they change the pattern. Maybe you get the difficulty level, easy difficulty level of quant section, but you get advanced level of section in logical reasoning. So that's why we are just going with the practice session of such questions, because the possibility of getting such questions is, I think, moving to slighter more than 50%. That's why we are just considering these types of sets, right? So let's, हाँ बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली एनटीए का कोई भरोसा नहीं है, और एनटीए यू ऑल नो अबाउट कि अभी क्या हुआ है ना, तो वो पता ही है सबको. तो इसलिए जस्ट पॉइंट इज कि इफ वी आर गोइंग विद एवरी पैटर्न, एवरी डिफिकल्टी लेवल, सो यू गाइज विल बी अवेयर ना दैट इफ such type of questions can be asked, then what happens next? How will you decode it within no time, right? Because if you are in the examination hall, definitely you are just facing the time pressure, right? There will be such pressure. In that pressure, if we have not discussed such type of questions, definitely the question, you people will not going to decode the question. That's why we are just going with such type of passages, right? So let's talk about what is the tenure length in years of University Nagpur. So if talking about UN beta, if talking about UN, what happens here is, talking about UN, that will be equals to 4. So here is 4. So 4 is the right answer for this part. Option number C is the right one. In which years did H attend University Patna? H attained UP. H attained UP. So here UP H attained 2012 and 2013. H 2012 and 2013. So 2012 and 2013, option number A is the right one. Correct. Now let's talk about this particular portion. Here we have, the question says that which of the following pairs were cohorts at University Nagpur? So UN cohorts. So talking about UN cohorts, FH or GI, FH or GI. So FH or GI means GI, Gauri and Isha. FH is not present. So here G and I, Gauri and Isha, is the right answer. Further, the question says about it that if talking about the entire part, how many total gap years with no university did I have across 2012 to 2023, right? So we just have to find the number of gap years for Isha, I. So let's talk about here I is enrolled. This is a gap year for Isha. There is no I. Again I and I. Further Isha. This is a gap year. So 2 gap year is here and 1 gap year is here. So definitely total number of gap year will be equals to 3. So option number 3 is the right answer, right? So the gap year for I will be 3. This is how it will work out. So we completed 2 difficult passages. The difficulty level was advanced, moderate to advanced in logical reasoning, and such type of questions is just a possibility that it might be possible that the difficulty level of your logical reasoning set will go beyond moderate to advanced, right? So that's why we discussed about it. Now what I'm going to do in this class is, we are just going with moderate to advanced level questions. Yes, we have easy questions too. You guys can easily attempt easy questions. Like this passage is the easy one, but this is based on data interpretation and you guys can easily decode such type of questions, right? So I'm just skipping this type of question. Now if talking about the entire portion, yes, this is just a good question based on logical reasoning, right? So if talking about the entire portion, see what the question says. The question says here, you are the quality control manager at the restaurant MacD. ठीक है, MacD is good, बहुत बढ़िया. And facing a dilemma, go through the case facts given below and solve the questions based on it. All right. So MacD produces chicken nugget box 1000 boxes at a time in a batch. MacD has to ensure that it does not supply undercooked nuggets known as defective to the customers. If a customer receives a defective nugget box, company has to pay a penalty of rupees 150 per nugget box. To check the level of preparedness of nuggets, any of the 2 tests can be used. Which type of test? Let's talk about test. Here we have 2 tests to check the quality. The test 1 says that rupees 6 per nugget box. This is the cost of checking 1 box, and detection rate is 80%. It means if we have 100 defective boxes, then out of those 100 defective boxes, this test 1 only detects 80% of the box. It means 80 boxes will be detected that these 80 boxes are defective, and out of 120 boxes which are defective, we know that this is defective, but test 1 is not going to just detect that 20 boxes are defective, right? And if talking about test 2, The cost of test 2 is rupees 9 per nugget box, and there is 100% surety that this will detect all the defective boxes, So detection rate is 100% here, and here the detection rate is 80%, test 1 and test 2, correct? Further, what the statement says, MACD can recook undercooked nuggets at a cost of rupees 75 per nugget box. It means that there is just an option that if it is defective, then what happens? If the defective box is there, MACD can recook nuggets at cost of rupees 75 per nugget box, right? This box can be now sold to customer as it is now certainly properly cooked, right? All the boxes which are detected as defective must be recooked, and after that these boxes are properly cooked now. Further, let X be the number of defective nugget boxes per batch. This is just a statement that we are not sure about X. यार आई एम सो सॉरी, ये क्वेश्चन में अपने आप X आ गया है, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, तो आप लोग इसको झेलो, ठीक है? थोड़ी देर तो अपने आप ये चला जाएगा जैसा कि आदत है X की, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पर अगर चेक करते हैं तो entirely we just have to we are moving with this particular part, and let's discuss few more facts about this statement, है ना? So if talking about the entire statement ना, the statement further says 1000 boxes at a time in a batch. It means that we are talking about a batch, and that particular batch is just containing 1000 boxes. So out of 1000 boxes, some are properly cooked and some are not properly cooked. That is said to be defective, right? And then to check these 1000 boxes, we have two tests available, test 1 and test 2. Test 1 cost rupees 6 per box, and test 2 rupees 9 per box, correct? So if we check all the boxes according to test 1, so what happens is there will be, the cost will be 6000 rupees. If we check all the 1000 boxes on test 2, then the cost of checking will be 9000 rupees, right? Further, one more thing you just have to check. The statement says that if a customer receives a defective nugget box, company has to pay penalty of rupees 150 per nugget box. It means that the penalty of rupees 150 will be given to customer. And if we recook, what is the cost of recooking? The cost of recooking is 75 per nugget box. So MACD can recook undercooked nuggets at a cost of rupees 75 per nugget box. This is the entire statement, ठीक है? चलो जल्दी से एक बार मुझे confirmation चाहिए. Is this clear to everyone so that we can go ahead? Guys, if it is clear to you, just let me know so that we can go ahead. All right. Acha, one more thing. Just remember this, that when you are going with this part, so total cost that company will bear, total cost that company will bear will be equals to what? That will be cost of testing. This is the first part, cost of testing, and after cost of testing, the next part is plus cost of recooking cost. We can say recooking cost, and after recooking cost, there will be penalty. So plus penalty. This is the total cost for a company. So company is bearing these three costs, cost of testing plus recooking cost plus penalty. Always use this statement because this statement is very useful. Now tell me, should we go ahead? Badhiya, perfect. Let's move on to the first question. Manager should not use any quality control test if it is expected that, the point is ki if you are a manager of quality control, that at which quantity you are going to check for detection for the defective products. So manager should not use any quality control test if it is expected that. So we have two different values. One is x is equals to 100 and next is x is equals to 200, right? So if talking about, guys, if talking about the entire statement, let's say talking about this portion, so x is equals to 100, right? So if talking about x is equals to 100, what happens is, let's go back to the part. The total cost will be cost of testing. Suppose we are testing everything. Suppose we are testing 100 part. So total cost will be equals to what? Total cost will be equals to 6,000. Why 6,000? Because we are cost of testing. We are checking with test 1. So this will cost you what? 6,000. 6 into 1,000. That will be equals to that 600. Sorry, the value will be equals to 6. So out of this, if talking about the entire portion, checking for this, the value will be equals to 6,000 for overall things, right? Because what the statement says, manager should not use any quality control test if it is expected that X is less than 100. So X is equals to 100, talking about this portion. So the value will be total cost for checking the batch. If talking about the entire batch, so batch will cost 6,000, because if we go for the batch now, entirely the 1,000 quantity will be tested. So the cost will be 6,000 rupees. But if talking about the portion, here we have, say, let's talk about the portion that the point is out of this. Here we have 80%. 80%. If talking about this portion, here the value will be equal to what? 80% detection rate. So it means that if 80% is defective, then what does it mean? Recooked. If talking about the entire statement, 80 is recooked and the cost of recooking is what? 75 rupees. Correct? If talking about plus 20, that will be penalty will be given. So this is penalty cost, this is penalty cost, this is recooking cost. Correct? So out of 100, if talking about the entire portion, we are sure about the part that 80, the point is 80 into 75 and 20 into 150, right? I think that this is clear to every one of you. Perfect, है ना? बहुत बढ़िया, सही है. So this value is 0 and 8 5s are 40, 8 7s are 56. This is equals to 6,000. And if talking about this, 15 2s are 30 and we have this 9,000 rupees, right? So this value is 9,000 rupees. These two values will cost 9,000. And if talking about the entire portion, if talking about the entire portion, this value will be equals to what? 9,000 and plus here the lot is what? Lot is what? 6,000. So we just have total cost value is equals to 15,000. I hope that this is clear to you guys, that if talking about the entire batch, if talking about the entire batch, so entire batch means what? Total 1,000, because the statement says here is 1,000 boxes at a time in a batch. So you just have to go for the entire batch. If you check the entire batch, what happens is the value will be equals to 6,000 rupees for the entire batch, rupees 6 for testing. So 6,000 for testing and 6,000 for testing and recooking cost will be 6,000 again. So 6,000 plus 6,000, 12,000, and here 3,000 is the penalty. So total cost will be equals to what? 15,000. Now see what happens if you are not going for checking. If you are not going for checking, it means you are not going to take any test, either test 1 or test 2. You are not going to take any test. What happens? Suppose 100 customer came in and what they say, they say that total all the 100 nugget boxes are defective and you are just giving penalties to them. So if you give 100 people penalty of rupees 150, this value is also 15,000. It means that you can give 15,000 is also here and this is also 15,000. It means that both the values are equal. So for 100 boxes, if you are giving penalty to 100 boxes to the direct customers, it means that you save time, you save electricity bill, you save labors. It means that you are not going to check for more than 100. Always definitely should not use any quality control test if the quantity is below 100, because for 100 you are paying 15,000 penalty and the cost of checking this 100 is also equals to 15,000. So that's why when X is less than 100, when the quantity is less than 100, you are not going for any particular test. I hope that this is clear. For any such value, if you go before 100 to 200, definitely the testing cost will go higher, because you just have to pay more penalty cost, you just have to recook more nugget boxes. That's why when the quantity is less than 100, manager should not use any quality control. I hope that this is clear to you guys. The point is clear. If it is clear, just let me know in the chat box, beta. If it is clear, just let me know in the chat box so that we can go ahead. Chalo, है ना? Done? Yes. So here the question is, if 200 is less than X is less than 400, then you should use test 1 and you should use test 2. You can use test 1 or test 2. None of these. Beta, I think that the similar pattern through which I have gone through this particular entire statement, you can also find for x is equals to 200 and 400. So I think that this is important for you. Just go with this particular part. This is the statement. Remember this, that here the rupees 6 per nugget box is the cost and 80% is the detection rate. Similarly, talking about test 2, 9 rupees per nugget box is the cost and detection rate is 100%, right? So let's talk about this portion. I think that you guys can easily do this. Go ahead and check it out. What will be the result? How can we find the yes, if anybody wants to check, yes, you can check for quantity 300 as well, because in between 200 and 400, in between 200 and 400 there will be a value of 300, so we can take average value as well. So for quantity x is equals to 300, you can check. So check for x is equals to 300 and go for test 1 and go for test 2. Go for test 1 and go for test 2. Remember that we have 3 different costs, and what are those 3 costs? Total cost is equals to cost of testing plus recooking cost plus penalty. So always use these 3 costs. Now you should check this, that what is the cost for test 1 and test 2 separately. Guys, once done, just let me know. I got an answer from Anushka, that is option number B. Alright, so if talking about the statement here, see, if talking about test 1, we know that the testing cost is 6,000 rupees. Why 6,000 rupees? Because we have 1,000 boxes and the testing cost will 6,000, and here the testing cost will be 9,000, right? Here the testing cost will be 9,000 and detection rate is 80%. So if talking about 80%, the 80% of 300, the 80% of 300 is 240. So 240 into recooking means 75. And 60 into 150 is the penalty. So this is for test 1. Let's say if talking about this, the detection rate is 100%, right? 300 all. So 300 will be recooked, that will be equals to 75. So if we solve this, here the value will be equals to 6,000. If we solve this, this value will be equals to, I guess, 224 into 75. That value will be equals to 4 5s are 20, 300. And then here we have 150 and this value is 1800. So 1800 and one more 0, 18,000. Plus if talking about this, 15 6 are 90 and double 0. So 9 and 6, 15, 15 and 18, 33,000. Total 33,000. The cost will be 33,000, right? Let's talk about this portion. Here we have 9,000, and if talking about this, double 0 and 3 5s are 15, 7 3s are 21, 22. This is 9,000. So here we have 22 and 9. 31,000, 500. So it means that if we are, the statement says that 200 is less than x is less than 400, then you should use test 1. So test 1 cost us 33,000. Right, talking about this portion 31,500. You should use test 2. You can use test 1 or test 2, none of these. Beta, option number B is the right one, because here the cost is minimum. That's why we should go with, you should use test 2, because if the values are same, then we can say that option number C is correct. You can use test 1 or test 2, but the cost is minimum here. That's why we are going with this particular part, right? So this is how it will work out. I hope that this is clear to you guys. Now we are heading towards one more moderate question. I think rest of the things can be done by you. If x is equals to 1000, you should use, right? So I think that you guys can easily go through this. Let's talk about the portion. Here we have to talk about one important part. Yes, this question will be easily done by you guys. This is the last question of the day, so I am just expecting from you guys to complete it, because this is not that much difficult. The difficulty level is moderate and just matches the level of JIPMAT. So I think that you guys can easily do it. Direction for questions: go through the data set given below and solve the questions based upon it. Following table gives the marks of 6 student A1 to A6 in 5 papers of an examination. So here is the value we have, right? What you have to do, the total is given here. You can find this particular value. If you can find this particular value, it means that again the total is mentioned. Now after finding this value, you can go for this value. Once you find this value, then again if this value is mentioned, then through this row you can find this particular portion. If this you can find this one, then total will be obtained using the sum, right? If the sum if you find the sum of this particular portion, it means that total can be easily find, right? So this is how it will work out. Go and fill out the table, and then we are moving to the question. I hope that this is the easy to moderate level question for you guys. So let's begin without wasting the time, and definitely we will go ahead. Kavya, there is not sectional cutoff, there is a combined cutoff for QA and LRDI. So if talking about the safe zone, that is around 250 questions, 220 to 250, 220 to 250 marks is the safest part if the paper goes through advanced difficulty level, in that case. So the combined, there is no sectional cutoff for LR and DI, right? So you just have to mark about 220 to 250. Beta, without wasting the time, just move on, and we are just going to wrap up with this question. So once done, just drop me D in the chat box so that we can go ahead with the questions. No, no, Prithvi, there is no sectional cutoff. It's overall value. So for advanced level, 220 to 250 marks, depending upon the difficulty level. If it is a much more advanced paper, then in that case 220 to 250 marks will be the secure marks. Bachcho, once done, just let me know so that we can move on to the questions. Guys, should we go ahead? Should we go ahead with the questions? Done with this, all the values completed? Once done, just let me know so that we can move ahead. Chalo. So if talking about this entire part, here we know that total the value is 491, and if we add all the things 9, 8, 17, in fact 9, 9, 18, 18 and 8, 26, 26 and 7, 33. So 3 remains, 9, 3, 12, 12 and 9, 21, 21, 9, 30, 30 and then we have 39, right? So the value will be equals to 11 minus 3 is 8 and 18 minus 9 is 9, 93. This value will be equals to 93 over here, correct? By doing so, let's talk about this portion 4, 3, 7 and 5, 12. And next talking about 10, 19, 9 and 18, 18 and 10, 28, 28 and 7, 35, 35 and 6, 41. So 412 minus 502. If we just subtract this, the value will be equals to 90, right? So 90 will be the value here. If talking about this portion here, we have talking about this 8 and 6, 14, 14, 5, 19, left with 1. Here we have 9, 9, 18, 18 and 14. That will be equals to 32, right? 32, 329. So out of 405, we just have to subtract 15 minus 9 is 6, 9 minus 2 is 7, 76. This value will be equals to 76. If talking about this portion, here we have 7 to 9, 9, 6, 15, 15 and 8, 23, 23 and 32, right? 32 means 2, 3 remains, 7, 7, 14, 14 and 8 will be 22, 22 and 18 will be equals to 40, 402, right? And the value is 468. So 66. This value will be equals to 66, right? If talking about this sum, 9 and 5, 14, 9, 9, 18 and 18 and 6, 24, 24, 29, 29 and 9, 38, 41, 4, 5, 4, 9, 9, 6, 15, 15 and 7, 22, 30, 39 and 48, 481. So out of this is 481, total is 481. So if we add all the things, here the value will be equals to what? Yes, we can just find this value as well. So 3 and 9, 6, 15, 15, 3, 18, that value will be 1. This value is 9 and 18 and 18 and 16. That value is 18 and 16, 34. 34 and 135, 358. If talking about 443, if you subtract 44 from 443, 5, and here we have 13, 5, 8 and 85. So this value will be equals to 85, right? Let's talk about this portion here we have. So 8 and 5, 13, 13, 6, 19, 19 and 4, 23, 23 and 8, 31, 3 remains, and 7, 7, 6, 13, 13 and 7, 20, 28, 28 and 37, 371. So we just have to subtract from 463. If we subtract from 463, 3 minus 1 equals to 2, and this value will be equals to 16 minus 7, 9. This will be 92. So this value will be equals to 92, right? This value is 92. Now let's talk about this portion here. If talking about the entire part here, this value is missing. So 5 and 4, 9 and 9, 18, 18 and 6, 24. This value is 2 remains. 2 means if talking about here we have 9, 9, 6, 15, 15 and 6, 21 and 27, 274, right? If talking about 349, we just have to subtract from 349, 9 minus 4 is 5, and here 14 minus 7 is 7, 75. So this value is 75. Talking about this portion, yes, we can add them. 9, 3, 12, 12, 8, 20, 25. 2 remains, 7, 7, 6, 13, 13 and 4, 18, 18 and 5, 23, 23 and 4, 27. So the value is 275. Now let's talk about the portion here we have. We can just add them up. This value is 9, 3, 12, 12 and 5. 17, 17 and 5, that will be 22, 22 and 5, 27, right? So 27, 2 remains. After this 11, 11, 9, 20, 28, 35, 35 and 5, 40. So this is 407. And here the sum is 505. So 50, suppose this is 507, 198. So the value is 98 over here, and we are just going to add them up. If we add them up, 2, 5, 7, 2, 9, 9, 4, 13, 13 and 8, 21, 2 remains, 11, 9, 20, 29, 29 and 9, 38, 38 and 47. So 471 is the data here. And if we go horizontally, what will be the value? Either vertically or horizontally, the value is 5, 2, 7, 7, 3, 10, 10 and 18 and 19, 9, correct? If we add like this 3, 2, 5, 5, 10, 10, 5, 15, this value will be, see, the total can be different. So we are just leaving it currently. And let's talk about another portion. Here the question is, what is the mark obtained by A2 in 5? So A2 in 5, that will be equals to A2 in 5, 98, right? So A2 in 5 is 98, which is option number A is the right one. So I hope that it is clear to all of you guys. A1 P4 98, perfect. Okay. All the values are wrong. Just let me know. Just let beta A1 P4. What is the value of A1 P4? What is the value of A1 P4? A1 P4 is 98. Okay. Let me check. अच्छा चलो एक बार just let me know what will the values, so that we can just drop the values of A1 P4, so that we can just mark it. Just let me know A1 P4. Drop it in the chat box currently. A1 P4 is 98. Let's talk about next portion here. What is the value for the next part? A2 P3. Just let me know A2 P3. What is the value for A2 P3? What is the value for A2 P3, so that we can just move ahead with A2 P3? Just let me know. Any particular value? $265. Acha. Chalo. All right. So let's go with another portion. We are just going with chalo. Let's do it again, है ना? So that it will be easier. We are just in hurry. If we are going like this, then definitely there will be a, I think, calculation mistake. See, so 8 and 4 12, 12 and 5 17. This is 7, right? And further we have 7 7 14, 27 and 14. 27 and 14, that will be equals to 7 4 11, and further we have 417. This is 502, so this value is 502. This is 12 minus 7 is 5. And 49 minus 41 is that value will be 85. So this will be 85, correct? I hope that this is correct now. 85 and 85, 170, right? 170 is here, and 170, and then we have 78 and 76. So this will be equals to 154, right? So the value is 7512. And this value is 324, correct? So this value is 324. If we just subtract this 405 and 324, 5 minus 4 is 1, and here we have 81, right? So this value is 81, correct? Now we are just going to add all these values. So here 99, this is 100, 180, this is 180. So 180 is the value, correct? And 95, 89, 95, 89, and further we have 69, 53. 69 and 53. I am just going to add this. Now check it out. 9, 5, 14. This is 9, 9, 18. 18 and 3, 21, 26. 2 remains, and this value will be 10, 9, 19. 19 and 8. That will be 27. 27 and 6, 33. 38. 3 remains. 3 will be here. The value will be 4. So 486. So this value will be equals to 486. I guess that these values are correct now. है ना? एक बार मैच कर लीजिएगा, so that we can just move ahead with the questions. चलो perfect है ना, बिल्कुल सही है. Let's talk about this portion. I'm going with this portion. Here we have 7 and 2 9, 9 6 15, 15 and 8 will be 23, and 23 and 9 will be equals to 32. So 2 3 remains. Then 3 4 7, 7 14, 14 and 8, that will be 22. and 22 and 9 will be equals to 31 and 9 40. So 402, and here we have 468. So the value will be equals to 66. I hope that the 66 is matching. Correct? This is correct. Now we are just going with the next part. If we are going with this particular portion, let's say here we have 6 and 9 15, 15 and 4 19, 19 and 5 24. So 4 remains 2. If talking about this 7 to 9, 9 and 6 15, 15 and 6 21, 27. So this value is 274 and the value is 349 here, 349. 9 minus 4 is 5, 14 minus 7 is 7, 75, right? So this value is 75, this value is 75 over here, correct? If talking about this portion, now add all of them. Here we have 9 and 3, 12, 12 and 22, 22 and 5, 27. So 2 remains, 5 to 7, 7, 14, 14 and 8, 22, 22 and 9, 31, 31 and 9, 40, 407. The sum is 505. So if we solve 505 minus 407, that value will be equals to 98. Now tell me, is all these values are clear now? All these values are correct now? Should we go ahead? Hello. So let's talk about the next part. Here we have talking about this particular portion. Sum 9 and 3, 12, 12, 8, 20, 25. 2 remains, right? 5 to 7, 7, 6, 13, 13 and 4, 17, 17 and 5, 22, 26. So this value will be equals to 265. Done with all this. Now see, if I am going with 5 and 2, 7, talking about this portion, we can also go like this, है ना? We can also go like this so that this value can be easily determined. So I am just going to eliminate these portions, these calculations, so that we get more area to calculate, and then we will jump on to questions. So the value is, chalo, bit calculative, yes, but the easy one. See, talking about this 9 and 6 15, 15 and 3 18, 1 remains, 9 9 18, 1 19, 19 and 8 27, 27 and 35. This value is 358 and the sum will be 443. So 443, 13 minus 8 is 5, and here we have 13 minus 5 is 8, 85, right? So 85 is the value, this is value 85, correct? If talking about this portion, talking about this particular part, here we know that 8 and 5 13, 13 and 6 19, 19 4 23, 23 and 8 31, 31 1, 3 remains, 7 7 6 13, 13 7 20, 28 and 37. So 371 minus out of what? Out of which is 463. 463. 3 minus 1 is 2. 16. 7 9 16. So 92. 92 is the value. This value is 92. Now I think that every value is correct. Just going with the last part here. So this value is equals to 2 plus 5 7, 7 plus 2 9, 9 4 13, 13 8 21, 2 remains. 9 to 11, 11 9 20, 29, 29 and 9 38, 38 47. So this value is 471. I hope that all the values are correct now. Okay, chalo. So let's check the unit place. 1 and 1 2, 3 5, 5 10, 10 5 15 and 4. Again 5 2 7, 7 3 10. Yes, 4. So this value is correct. 2424 is the value. So here the total value is 2424. I guess this is the correct one now. We are just moving to the question. The question says that what is the mark obtained by A2 in P5? A2 in P5. A2 in P5, that is 98. Right? So the value is 98 here. 98, option number A is the right one. Further, the statement says that what is the mark scored by A4 in P4? A4, P4. So A4, P4. A4 here and P4 here 85. So the value is 85, which is option number C is the right one. Correct? Now see, let's move to the next part. What is the average of the total marks scored by all the 6 students? So all the 6 students, we know that total we have 2, 4 and average marks of total marks scored by all the 6 students, right? So if talking about this particular portion, all the 6 students, no? So this is the total 2424 and we just have to divide it by 6. So the value will be equals to what? 6 4s are 0, 6 4s are 404, which is option number D is the right answer, है ना? This is how it will beta work out. So what is the sum of the marks scored by all the 6 students in P2? Sum of P2. So if we are going with the sum of P2, P2 is here and 486 is the sum. So 486, which is option number B is the right one. So this is the part which we discussed. I think that we already done this, and I'll definitely going to share the PPT with you guys so that rest of the questions will be done by you. Chalo, thank you so much for joining guys. See you soon. All the very best for the exam. और बहुत अच्छे से करके आना है. Be confident. ठीक है, बाकी चीज़ें हम लोगों ने बात कर ही ली थी और भी मैराथन के अंदर, तो जस्ट कीप दैट ऑल दोज पॉइंट्स इन माइंड एंड बी कॉन्फिडेंट. डेफिनेटली यू गाइज विल रॉक द एग्जाम. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग.